NFTs, or as some people know them as, no thanks.
I hate crypto. I fucking hate the NFT shit. I hate the apes.
Fraud has already found its way to the red hot NFT market.
I got a picture of a little guy as my profile picture.
I get it. Monkey JPEGs selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. It seems pretty crazy, but hear me out. There's actually a huge opportunity to create a long-term business in the Web3 space using these little guys. Like really huge. And there are 4 key ingredients that you are going to need if you plan on making a 5-star Web3 business using NFTs. Story, utility, art, and a team.
Fucking delicious.
Okay then, so story. We all love a good story. Now Disney has mastered the art of storytelling. They are now worth over $186 billion, employing over 195,000 people worldwide. And it all started with a good story. Coming from a small family in Egypt, Walt was no stranger to the struggles of life. At the age of 23, Walt finished his long-term studying at the world-renowned Mickey University, where he then went on to land his very first job at a new fast food restaurant, McDonald's. But at the age of 28, Walt realized that there was something missing. There were children coming through McDonald's on a daily basis, but they just didn't seem happy. So he asked himself, how can I change this? And it was from that thought that the idea of the Happy Meal was born. And can you guess what that first Happy Meal toy was? Mickey the Duck. Now obviously that was a lie, like all of it. But you were looking forward to hearing the rest of that story, weren't you? And that is exactly my point. Having a good story helps build community, hope, and a sense of identity in whoever the story is about. Now you identify with that story and you actually become part of it. So find your story, it will help, trust me. But never ever force the story. Don't just make some shit up like I did a couple of seconds ago. It will be very apparent very quickly and it just won't work. Utility. So perhaps one of the most important aspects. Every single one of the greatest businesses to ever exist has looked to solve problems. This is by far the greatest utility that you can ever present in any business. Now, my dad brought Tesla to life with one vision in mind: to keep the world from exploding. But seriously, the utility and reason behind Tesla is to accelerate the use of sustainable energy and autonomy in the car world, leading to a greener future and actually sparking a change across a seemingly uninterrupted market. Now, finding a pain point and providing that solution is always the best way to stand out from the rest. Take your time with this part. If it's done right, every single other aspect should fall into place. So art. Not only does your project have to solve a problem, it kind of has to look good while doing it too. One of the fastest ways for us to receive information is obviously with our eyes. But what we see has to interest us for us to give it the time of day. There's constantly a million things competing for our attention at any given moment. So statistically speaking, the fact that you've made it this far through this video is pretty much a miracle. So thank you. However, people always assume that art has to be beautiful for it to be considered valuable. That just doesn't always pan out to be the case, especially with NFTs. Sometimes it just has to stand out. The fact of the matter is, I'm sure there are a ton of NFT projects out there right now that just haven't even been given the time of day. Now, mainly because the art and the branding just doesn't stand out. Look, hiring a good artist can be very, very complicated, and that would probably have to be a completely separate video by itself. Next up, the team. Now, this is easily one of the most important aspects to building a good project or business. The fact is, you can't do these things alone, so having a great team to back you up is what is really going to keep that ball rolling in the right direction and at the pace that you want it to be rolling at. Here are some good roles that you're going to need to be filling when it comes to an NFT project, and I cannot stress this enough. Stop penny pinching when it comes to your money. If you've scheduled your days correctly, but you are still pressed for time, then hire someone. If you can afford it, of course. Your time really is your greatest moneymaker and your greatest asset when it comes to business. And you have to remember that. So invest in yourself by freeing up time and mental space. From there, you're going to be able to strengthen your business to levels that you would have otherwise been unable to. The true value is to be able to work on and not in your business. NFTs are not going anywhere anytime soon. And as we start to see more and more Web3 adoption in our daily lives, new utility and use cases are going to start to reveal themselves, giving you a perfect opportunity to make something great. If you aren't currently paying any attention to it, you're missing out massively.